The emergence of the snowflake Ironman has given us new perspectives on the world of Gillinall. From the swamps of Mauritania to the jungles of Karamja and the deserts of Al Kharid. And so I'd like this series to be my humble contribution. I present to you the vegan locked ultimate Ironman.
You serious?
I'm serious. Okay, so what is this account? In short, I'm vegan, so no animal exploitation, no killing, no animal products, as much as practically possible. My goal is to make my own animal sanctuary within my POH, and I also want to just see how far I can get without using enemy animal products. Now, sadly, I do have to do some killing on Tutorial Island. I've got to kill some shrimp, I've got to cook them, and I've got to kill some rats. But don't worry, I'll make up for it. Walking through Lumbridge, I saw an opportunity for me to redeem myself for what I did on Tutorial Island. The cow pen. This used to be a rainforest. Some of you may not remember, back in 2001, this was actually the Lumbridge rainforest. They cut it all down so they could put these cows here. Disgusted by what I'd seen in the Lumbridge cow pen, I decided to run north to Varrock and beyond. A great task lied ahead of me in the wilderness. The boneyard. A yard of bones. Tortured animals, no doubt. And it was my job to bring them peace. All 780 of them. Now, being the extreme athlete that I am, the next thing I had to do was get myself some agility. If I'm going to be running around the game, because at the moment I don't have any teleports, the best thing for me to do was get my agility up. And with that I could get graceful. I did the customary 14 laps at the Gnome Stronghold, and then I moved on to rooftop agility. It's only 260 marks of grace for the full set. However, I wouldn't have access to Canifis because at the moment I don't want to complete Priests in Peril. Just 27 laps at Draenor Village meant that it was over in no time, and I netted myself about 6 marks of grace. Not very much, but it's going to add up. quick detour in Alcarid, and then I was over to Varrock. Now, I don't want to show too many agility clips. I know it's not very interesting. It's not very interesting for me either doing it, but I think it'd be kind of weird if I just turned on the recording I already had full graceful, so I wanted to show you something at least. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to do Canifis, so I had to spend 30 to 50 at Varrock instead, but Old Man Koa from the CC, he came down to cheer me on. It was very nice of him. He stayed there for at least 20 laps. Finishing up, I went to Falador. I did the 386 laps there, and then got my last piece by doing Sia's Village. And here I am getting the last piece.
Damn, boy, he's sick, boy!
Moving on, I had to do my construction grind next. I needed to get 42 construction, which would take me 1,570 planks and about 2,000 iron nails. I did the standard low-level UIM method, which was going from Entrana to Rimington, back and forth. It took me a couple of days because I was doing it on and off, but if you're a low-level Ironman and you want to do your Wintertod grind, I'd highly recommend that you get this done, as it'll increase your construction rate from Wintertod or Locks. Those first couple of levels, they're a little bit slow, so if you got 20 at least, it'd be much better. So I had the 42 construction, but I didn't have the money to buy the costume room. I was going to need 50k about, plus a little bit extra. So I decided to do thieving. I got my thieving up a little bit and then decided to go to Hosidius to do the 15% favor, which would unlock the fruit stalls. You can't fail here. It's super quick XP. It's a little bit boring, but it's a lot better than doing pickpocketing. Now, I tried my hand at blackjacking, but I'm not gonna say, just take a look. Yeah, that didn't go so well. Every time I died, I had to come thieve myself about 220 gold and then go back, and I died like 5 pickpockets later. It was not fun whatsoever. Now, some of you may be wondering why I didn't do the agility pyramid, and it's because of this item, the water skin. The water skin is probably made from the guts of some poor goat, and I don't want to support that financially. I'm not going to buy it, so I didn't want to do the agility pyramid. However, luckily for me, there is a spawn in the new Tempros area, so I'm not affecting the supply and demand of water skins in any way. However, I do realize this is a little bit of a kind of grey area, so I'd like your feedback. If you think that it's against the spirit of the account, then I won't do it. I'll get the 90k that I made from the agility pyramid and I'll get rid of it. I did put the water skins back after I was finished. There's like a table, I put them back. It doesn't matter for the game, but like for consistency's sake, you know. So with that money, I got myself the costume room and I made the magic wardrobe. This means that I can store my grace fall so that it's safe. I'm never going to lose it if I've got it stored in here now. Next, I went and got myself an iron dagger poisoned, which would help me later on, but it turns out I didn't actually need it. I wanted to get my cooking up so that I could finish the knight's sword, and the only method I had was making bread, which was quite painful. It was very, very slow. The burn rate was extremely high, and it's just annoying. Once I got 7 though, I could move on to potatoes, so I picked them in Draenor Village, and the nearest oven was in Port Sarim, so I had to go walk back over there. As you can see though, the burn rate is quite high, and even if you do cook them, the experience is only 15 per potato. These are just not gonna cut it, especially if I want to get my cooking up in future. But for now, it's all I had, so 4 or 5 trips of that, and I got myself 10 cooking. Going on over to Thurgo, I give him the red berry pie, and I moved on. I got the iron bars from the wilderness. He's over here looking like a thumb, and I had to get my blue right. For that I finished Doric's quest and whatever. And this is why I can't make a hardcore Ironman. Even if my internet was reliable, I think I'm too switched off to actually keep myself alive for more than 5 minutes. So finishing up Night Sword, 29 smithing, lovely. Next, the beady-eyed among you may have noticed that I had the dyes in my inventory, which were of course for Goblin Diplomacy. Doing that got me a little bit of crafting XP, but most importantly a gold bar. I picked myself up an iron plate body from Horvik. With my newly acquired 29 smithing, I made myself an iron kite shield, got the helm from Petra, and the legs from Bluey Legs in Al Kharid. And then I got myself a ring mold and made that gold bar into a sapphire ring. Some of you may have guessed what I'm going to do. So I got myself 34 mage with about 3000 casts splashing, and I enchanted that ring. So I need to talk about the only exception I'm going to make on this account, and that is Herblaw. And to unlock Herblaw, I of course need to complete the Druidic Ritual, which means I have to obtain some animal products. Although I won't be using any animal products training the skill itself, just to unlock it. So using the iron dagger that I thieved earlier, which didn't even proc, so it was kind of pointless, and the ring of recoil, I recoiled down the bear, although I had to do 1 damage of course to receive loot. I did the same for the rat, but even though this is an exception I'm making, I still want it to be as ethical as possible, and that's why I decided to thieve the chicken instead of buying it. For the beef, I went and pulled some strings, I made some calls. I talked to my guy at Widen in Port Sarim, and he managed to set me up with some lovely Beyond meat. Now some of you will call this fake, but you know, the proof is in the pudding. Just take a look. It may cost a little bit extra, but you know, no animals are hurt, and it's all for the greater good.
The greater good.
And with that, Herblaw was done. So now I'm free to do solo Wintertodt. I can train Herblaw myself, and whatever. 3 days game time on the account so far. And I'd just like to say, if you've enjoyed this first episode, then please let me know with a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.